I have not seen, how RambleRick does handle the beginning.
Feet. That's not really something you want to see and collect power-ups. You're looking for that orb on the first drop. That has not happened. It's like a foot for him, another foot for CHX. What? Tapatio J, you're in the booth with me. What? I didn't know you were playing again.
Yeah, it's
Another foot.
some early flashbacks. This only happened about 15 minutes ago, but good God. I mean, yeah, and finally does get the orb. But I kind of noticed or heard you guys say kind of before one of the earlier matchups, going out there, kind of going out for items that might not be exactly what you're looking for, whether it's grenades or shoes or lives or what have you. Really trying to just get that orb pull, really just working through the items. Trying to get it to drop for you. And CHX, it worked out. It has the orb going in, and it's clearing out shrapnel pretty well here.
Yeah, so once more, we'll go over the rules of Eat My Shrapnel. You have to kill 18 shrapnels. Only 4 can be on the screen at a time. You can't really gain any time in this, but you can certainly lose it. And CHX doing a wonderful job just holding the circle in the middle. Basically, there's a certain number of foot soldiers that also can appear in this room, but you will kill them long before you will kill 18 shrapnel as long as you have precision fire. CHX doing a wonderful job getting out at 207.
Yeah, and the drops have dried up. RambleRick is having to figure it out right here. Does take the death, and actually, this isn't the worst thing ever. The invulnerability, you can use this to get some quick kills on these shrapnel. You do not want them to build up to 4. Does get the razor shield, still trying to work through it, but yeah, finally gets a spreader, gets a little something finally here.
Yeah, unfortunately, with the grenade and razor shield combination there, that's not really something you like to see in tank or Eat My Shrapnel there. Just the grenades don't even go outside of the range of the razor shield, so it's not really something you like to have in that room because you need to use the razor shield to kill foot soldiers and then use the grenades to kill the shrapnel. And yeah, that's not a good combination for anything.
No, absolutely not. On to total carnage here for both our runners. CHX actually finally getting some rockets down toward the bottom of the room. He's able to clean that up. Comes out into the bonus room with a nice low 3-minute time. You love to see that. That is, you'll take that in an attorney race for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure I would love to see that, but CHX is actually used to getting 255s and stuff, so I'm pretty sure he's a little disappointed with his entry there, even though it's really good. That's just the general thing for CHX because he is really good at this game.
No doubt about it. Ramble's able to get rockets on his side, while the opening to Tank Trouble, unfortunately, invulnerability, actually not the worst thing. You have the ability to kind of ignore that early gunfire, those early shrapnels, and gets the rockets. So now CHX doing the work, cleaning it up, and holding that center down in Tank Trouble here.
Yeah, with some good fire in the beginning of that room, CHX was actually able to take out the left gunner without, having a power up. So that's some good fire there. Good stuff from him. Power ups not really good other than that though. Just that spreader. Now he finally gets one, but it's just been dudes. It's been invulnerability, grenades. Like yeah, CHX is not having a good, RNG with the room, but with the precision fire and stuff, he still casually just walks into Mutoid Man with a
sub 410. Beautiful. RambleRick actually did pretty well at the end of his carnage right there, keeping the orb healthy as he goes into bonus. But here we go. CHX on a pretty hot time here for the first race. Does get the lobber drop, so we'll be able to probably take out these gunners pretty easily, probably lining up for the ball buster.
Yeah, that lobber up there is definitely going to line him up for the ball buster right there. It's just a matter of when he's going to get it, and he unfortunately gets run over. Does not get the orb or the ball buster strat there.
Just barely enough time off the respawn, is able to get to the lobbers there, is able to kind of continue on. RambleRick, unfortunately, has lost the orb, is trapped in the corner. I know that feeling. I got trapped in the worst corner. I got in the lower right, unfortunately, on my race there. I know the feeling. It's tough when you're stuck down there and you're not getting any drops.
Yeah, there's no shame in going to that corner as long as you, like, if you get overrun or something like that, because the corner is a safety strat, just as far as like, keeping yourself alive and try to kill the foot soldiers as fast as possible. It's never bad to take the corner, but obviously you're losing time because you're not keeping the kill count up. But it does keep you alive. And CHX still having his way with the Mutoid Man right there, while RambleRick is still trying to keep up with Tank Trouble here. Gets another orb chance. Well, the head just got popped on CHX's side. He's going to finish up the room, and he has the whole Mutoid Man pretty much behind at this moment.
I mean, the drops could go really empty for CHX here, but looking pretty decent. Has the rockets going. It does have the lobber. This is looking like a pretty nice little finish. A low 6 minute potentially here for
Well,
CHX.
there's an invulnerability, but it really doesn't mean much for him because he still has ammo in that lobber. It actually doesn't matter at all because that lobber was just enough to get him through. He is going to miss the sub 6, unfortunately, but this is still a really good race time, about a 6:17.
Yeah,
Really
you
good,
you
really
can't
good.
ask for much more off the race right there when you're dealing with this is a straight run through. You got to deal with what's given to you, and not too bad from CHX right there. RambleRick getting the lobbers early, not too bad for his boss fight starting out here.
Yeah, yeah, that's unfortunate though with CHX. That was a 409 entry, so a 2-minute mutoid man, it's like that kills competition runs, unfortunately, for a lot of racers. So, yeah, GG's to CHX, but it's just one of those like it could have been so much better if the RNG was just a little nicer.
No doubt about it. It is kind of an interesting thing, and I've been thinking about this the last couple days as kind of doing practice runs myself. Just kind of slight differences you might have, even doing this fight. I think in general, when you're doing maybe a tourney race, you're kind of looking for any damage possible, but maybe when you're doing runs and you're really going for those really low times like CHX is, you're really trying to manipulate to try to get spreaders, take good timing on deaths and that sort of thing. So kind of interesting when you put into this format. You're just trying to get through this in any shape, or possible, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of runs that get to the mutoid man just to be completely denied. It's like it's the most frustrating experience I think when you get with the sub 4 timed into mutoid man and you just get completely shut down with the drops. It's just not fair. It's RNG. That's the name of the game, unfortunately, with Smash TV. It's just mutoid man like 359. He does not care what your pace is. He will ruin them. And that's why getting the sub 6 is such a difficult feat, and that's like one of the goals for like everybody who's in the sub 6 club right now.
Absolutely. We're gonna actually. I'm watching this Ramble Rick fight. We're getting some interesting freeze frames here, to where we're getting some very funny glitch choids. At least that I'm seeing. So I'm enjoying that heavily. I do. I like this too by Rick. All the runs don't go your way, and sometimes the drops dry up. But get your practice in, get your runs in. This is kind of the format to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Unfortunately, Mutoid was parked on one, so unfortunately at this point, I think the PB is out for Ramble Rick. His PB is an 847, so it's like even if he were to get like, oh, unfortunately
Well,
he
but
gets
that's good.
zapped, but
Yeah, but that gets it to him. Yep, gets it. Gets up, get in there. Yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah,
mm,
he's wiggling around. Mutoid is wiggling around all over the place there.
yeah, I don't know if Ramble Rick actually knows about the exploit because he wasn't like running up into him, so I don't know about that one.
Yeah, sometimes you maybe even if you do know, you get a little antsy and you start shooting before you're actually there. So then he starts shaking, and then all of a sudden he's running away from you basically on screen, and you're not quite getting it.
Oh, he
Tough
gets
one. Ooh,
zapped. Ooh.
tricky laser. Oi.
Yeah, I don't know for sure on this one, but I believe the invulnerability is actually up for 7 seconds total. So when it goes to green, you have about one, two, three, and then it's gone. So one, two, three, four. Okay, 4 seconds when it's there. Yeah, he's gonna break the. Okay, he's gonna get out of here before the 10-minute mark. So good GG's for him. Yeah, that Mutoid man, there was a lot of dead drops for him as well, so that extended that time a little bit more.
Yeah, there's those times where you're even when you are finding some weapons, you might be just picking something up, and then all of a sudden, Mutoid does a little shake or a quick reverse or something like that and clips you, and you're just kind of in this purgatory of nothing. Nothing's happening between you and Mutoid, man. You just kind of want to get through the dang thing. But nicely done, Ramble Rick, for finishing that out. CHX going to take game one here in this best of five opening series.
So we'll give Ramble Rick a little bit of a chance to get set up for this next race. So Just like to also point out that just remember this is only day 2 of the Super Smash TV 6th annual tournament. We still got plenty of other matches scheduled for this week. Um, as some that we don't have scheduled, as far as I know. I really want to know when Skunky and Drumboard are playing because that's the match I want to see the result with because that's going to be who I'm facing next. As I had my match on Sunday, I went to the winners bracket, so I'm awaiting the winner of Skunky48 and Drumboardist. And Drumboardist, I know he has a PB in him, so I'm waiting for some interesting stuff between those two.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of good matches coming up for the rest of the week. I'm sure you guys have already hit upon them. We got Sigma Fan Edo coming up tomorrow. That's going to be interesting. Edo, another one of these rookies coming out, having actually a pretty good PB so far. Should be an interesting one. Sigma Fan been putting in the work on her side. That'll be an impressive race, I think, between those two. Thursday has a trio of matchups. Sunday has a couple more. But we got game 2 here coming up, so I'm sure we're getting everything set up right now for that. But yeah, as we are going into that, we might as well talk about him. Wednesday had that Sigma Fan Edo. Thursday we got Bry versus Dildar, Aaron Jesus versus Joey Mittens, and Telio 1 versus Steve 0. So the numbers out there, the 1 versus the 0 right there in that last matchup. I like that. Sunday is going to have an awesome. I like this combo here, and I'm looking forward to this finale on Sunday. Aries Fire Tiger versus Akrasi is going to be a great opener, but Space Colonizer versus Ladab, that's going to be absolute fire. I am super looking forward to that matchup on Sunday.
So I totally fudged the countdown timer. I went 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and then go. But it looks like our racers actually got off at the right time, so no harm or foul on that one. But anyways, off we go with race number 2 of this best of 5 series between CHX42 and RambleRick.
Our racers, absolute professionals, able to adapt on the fly, even when the count isn't correct, getting that start right on time. Beautiful. You love to see it.
Yeah, I don't like to see it because it was my mistake. Oh, RambleRick avoided that club there, just there. That was very interesting. So about a 6-second hole shot for CHX right now. Still, I mean, we had one first orb drop, I think, today. It was for Tetsuo. But so far, out of the 14 races we've seen so far today, there's only been one. So that's how rare it is.
Yeah, drops are a little dry today, I will say. It'd be nice if we saw that a little earlier, maybe in my races, but what it is, what it is. Nicely done there. CHX is handling it pretty well, using those rockets in an expert fashion and getting out of there sub 120.
Yeah, you can tell the definite skill of CHX42. No orb, very little power-ups and collect power-ups. He still gets out with a 119. That is absolutely impressive. I don't know why he just used his Razor Shield there, but
just damage.
Doesn't even matter because he gets an orb right away. But RambleRick also has an orb on his side as well. He's a room behind, though, unfortunately.
Oh, and CHX almost paid for that. That was as close as you'll see an orb almost hit CHX right there. He almost dropped it. That was... Ooh, and I was going to say, CHX is so confident. He doesn't need the Razor Shield in this room. But then it almost cost him right there. But it gets out of there.
And with the webcam, we can see CHX. I'm pretty sure if he had lost that orb, we would have seen a very frustrated man on that webcam. Yeah, CHX, being number 2 on the leaderboard, hardly ever makes mistakes. So that probably would have gotten under his skin if that had happened. RambleRick has got 4 shrapnels on his screen right now. He's kind of losing time here just based on that, but he does have some rockets. He'll definitely get control of the room after that.
Yeah, those rockets are going to save it right there. Very nice there for RambleRick. CHX on his side. Razors holding center with the orb. Looking pretty good. Spreaders dropping. And the start here for RambleRick does take the death, but this should actually work out pretty fine. We'll be able to kind of use that invulnerability. Gets the spreader. We'll be able to parlay this into some rockets. So a decent start here for Rick.
So a 2:54 entry time for CHX into the bonus room. That is intense. Like that is a world record pace for sure. About 3 seconds off his sum of best, I think, for going into the bonus room. So very good entry time for CHX. It's a very hot time. Just depending on the power ups and tank trouble, we could see a sub 4 entry into Mutoid, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Knowing what could be on the board here. Unfortunately, life drop to start. Don't want to see that dude early. Some nice dancing though, keeping that orb healthy, getting rid of a gunner, still holding center. It gets the rockets on the feet. That is going to be huge. And
And
rockets
more
refill.
rockets and more and more. He definitely needed that. Two dudes in between though. Just unfortunate for that, but it's like more rockets. Like he has gotten everything under control here.
The
I
Mulk is flowing. The vitamin R is coming out. And yeah, taking advantage of it is CHX. Beautiful.
So there's the swirl of shame, unfortunately, for RambleRick. Oh, he is so close to being a sub 4 entry, but a 4-minute flat entry into Mutoid, man. Game, we need spreaders. We need him right now. He could get a world record if he gets everything lined up here in a tournament race of all things. He could also go for that tournament race world record as well, as you know, it's just a tournament record, but world record.
Doing decent with what's being dropped. Gets the rockets, able to take out the gunners early. Gets the lobbers. Is going to be able to do decent damage here. Doesn't want to see that second lobber drop though. And lines up. Not quite. A little late on the ball bust.
Fortunate with the ball buster, but I liked his patience though. He was focusing on the lobber and actually waiting for dead time where he had no drops to use it for the ball buster. So that's something interesting I haven't actually thought about. Normally I just go for the ball buster right away. So that's very good thinking on his part.
Yeah, putting in good timing there, but getting the spreader here takes the death, and this is lining up pretty decent. We're going to see this go down a couple forms, I imagine. And another spreader for CHX.
And another, but I don't think he had enough time to grab it, so he's going to have to do some manuals here. He took 2 forms off that one spreader there, and he gets unfortunately run over, but he still has sub 6 opportunity going right now. Just needs some good drops to finish out these last 2 forms of the Mutoid, man. Well, he's going to get it from the skin of his teeth, I bet. And he just kind of casually walks through there. That does happen if he moves at a very fast pace and you have an invulnerability. Is he going to get it? He's got to blow up here in the next 10 seconds. I think this... Oh, no! He took a death. I think that just cost him his sub 6 here. Unless he blows up in the next 5 seconds here. Maybe? Maybe he'll get it. Just maybe.
Yeah, by the slightest of margins, perhaps.
Oh, no, he's going to miss it by a second. Oh, tragic. Oh, that's too bad. That's still, a 6:01 is a very good start.
Incredible run.
Very good time for a tournament race. Just unfortunate that, he was that close to getting... We haven't had a sub 6 in the tournament yet, and, as he finishes, that's when RambleRick is now in the Mutoid, man. So, very good performance by CHX in this race here.
Yeah, absolutely. RambleRick getting in here just a little bit after that. Gets that dreaded late swirl. We hate to see that thing popping up here. No need for that, Mutoid man. No need for that. Get out of here.
So I think that there was some interesting, chatter going about the late swirl and all that stuff in the Mutoid man fight. Whenever there's a grenade that appears first, there seems to be a connection between that, because I did realize that happened a couple of my practice runs. I started with a grenade and the swirl was like a really late swirl. So I don't know. It might be a start on something and figure out why it is late every once in a while.
Yeah, it is it's nice to be able to make those connections. If you're expecting the late swirl, perhaps you kind of play things a little differently, especially when you have a grenade drop coming out. Maybe you hesitate on that a little bit. Yeah, it's a tricky one here. RambleRick, nice little grab there on the lobs. Is able to get off of 2 arms there. I think he has a spread, right? And no,
that's a missile.
Rockets. Yeah, another blue drop, different one. Is able to kind of get the parlay. Let's see, do we get a spread drop here?
Yeah, RambleRick actually still has a chance for a PB here. He has a 847 PB on the leaderboard. If he has some good fire here, some lobbers, he could definitely snipe it for about 10 seconds maybe. But if he gets that key, it's not going to matter too much because he still has a little clip for the lobbers there, but it's all depending on what follows. Another lobber to make up for it. It's going to be close for sure. He could still get a PB out of this though.
Yeah, absolutely. A good couple lobber grabs earlier there for Rick. I think just kind of this is one of those things that'll come with experience, kind of understanding where to go for the manual placement, where to go for lobs. I saw you trying to do some bounce off the wall there, just weren't quite landing. They're landing almost at the feet of Mutoid Man there. So yeah, with some just some experience in using some of these weapons, lobbers you don't see until you get to this room, right? So if you're not really used to doing this fight, it could be very tricky to use those effectively. And you want to be able to use lobbers effectively, of course.
Yeah, an absolute game changer in this room is also whether or not you are able to bounce the wall or bounce the lobbers off the walls efficiently. So RambleRick is unfortunately going to miss his PB by about 4 seconds here. So GG's to him. Very close on that one. Very good effort by him. But a
Absolutely.
601, oh my goodness, there's nothing you can do about a 601. That's just
No.
really good and really good and expected from the second top in the world. So GG's to both racers. We got 2-0 lead for CHX42 right now. I'm gonna, give RambleRick a little bit of time to get prepared, and we'll get going with round number 3 of the final match of the day. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back really soon.
Absolutely. And this is again on a awesome night of races here. A nice 4-pack for you all. Be sure if you're not already, drop a follow to our folks here over at GG_speedruns, doing all the work as far as the behind the scenes, sending us up with some awesome layouts. Obviously, you've seen the production as far as when we cut away the prize screens, all the fun stuff. This is it's been awesome to have this as our home for the 6th annual tournament and hopefully previous tournaments and future tournaments to come. So very awesome. I'm loving also the that perler in the screen right there for RambleRick. Look at that, the MC looking good in the lower right. And both of our runners looks like getting set up. So we are just about underway. Race number 3 for match number 4 for tonight's event. Good luck. You'll need it on this one.
And you'll need a lot of it for sure. I'm still waiting for that first drop orb to happen. So we still got to have that.
And yeah, as you brought up in one of our previous races there, I don't think RambleRick has the manipulation setup down yet. It's still able to make it work. Gets the shoes, gets a little speed out there, and does get the razor. Anyways, is running it into the enemy. So pretty aggressive on the movement there from RambleRick to get out of this room.
Ooh, that would have been nice to have that nuke finish out the room for RambleRick there, but he just got a little too soon with the 3 soldiers that happened to appear after the nuke. So it's one of his better entries out of the first room, though. So very good on him.
And there you go.
Look
Spoken
at that.
into existence. There is your first drop orb, far left side for CHX, but he's going to get right back to center. He's going to start holding this down. And this is going to be a quick one. You're looking at easily a low 120 just for getting the orb for CHX.
Yeah, CHX with his skill, his absolute knowledge of the game, he's so good at it.
Wow, I misspoke. That's way faster.
116. It's the best exit out of the room so far today.
Good God.
Good Lord, that is dynamite. More dynamite than dynamite, as LZ probably would say. Just that is incredible. This is world record pace, and CHX is so good at the game. I don't imagine him losing this orb for the entire run. So,
oof. You can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him. Absolutely phenomenal. And he gets the razor here. He's going to be really set up. This is hilarious. CHX actively ignoring that razor. It's just going to create more separation when you get to the door. It's going to be annoying. So it doesn't even go at another razor
2 in a row. It's one of those things with CHX. Like, he knows that it's like the razor shield's going to cost him seconds at the end of the room, and by the time it actually appeared, there were no foot soldiers even to be seen. So that's how quick he got he took care of all of them. Oh, he played the door
Yikes.
very risky there, but he didn't lose the
Oh,
orb. So very cautious. I don't know why he would try to do that.
I mean, he tried to do a nice little tiptoe facing the other way, trying to get the shoes to just get that item out of the way, and missed, and then went back for it. I've fallen victim so many times to that where you just miss the item and you want to get it because you just want to see something else. Unfortunately, yeah, it gets caught up. That right side started collapsing, took some angles to him. So unfortunately, CHX losing the orb there. RambleRick getting out
Yeah,
into total carnage will have the orb.
Yeah, that commentator's cursed, unfortunately, because I said he wasn't going to lose it the entire round, and I spoke very, 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 very too soon on that one. Oh, unfortunately, Ramble Rick, he had an orb and he just got some rockets, but unfortunately, as soon as he picked that up, he got clubbed. So, oh, look at that, a freaking orb drop
Wow.
to end the room for CHX. A 302 entry into the bonus room there, but yeah, the damage is already done. He had a 250 pace before that orb drop.
CHX just parlayed rockets into a last orb drop to finish out that room. 4 bars in the clip. Looking pretty nice to start out tank trouble here for CHX.
Yeah, a sub 6 is still possible for CHX as long as he, utilizes his rockets. He should, because he's just so dang good. Oh, and look at that. Rockets at the feet.
Good God.
The rich getting richer for CHX here. And then there's a dude, which we don't really want to see in this room, but yeah, CHX going to use these pea shooters. Ramble Rick is going to use a spreader. He's still in total carnage there. Just, yeah, the orb. I think he needs a razor shield. There's the swirl of shame. It looks like it's about to. Oh, he managed to avoid it. CHX still holding the center very well on tank trouble here. Got a lot of shrapnels at the end of the room, so gonna hurt his. Oh no!
He leaped it!
CHX is the last person I thought that would do that. Like, seriously. Oh,
He's shaking his head. I feel you, CHX. You gotta not be happy with that. He was flying through these stages, and then it just kind of. That's all you think about now. That's all you think about is he just did that.
I am so disgusted by that just now. Like, I literally just threw my notebook across the room. I was so upset by it. Just freaking sick of that. Just, CHX, you are the one guy I did not expect to run into a mine. Like, I have no words for that.
No, when you put in as much work as a guy like CHX has, every now and then, yeah, a little input slip. You take a little step to the right, step to the left, hop 2 times, whatever it is. It's not going to work out all the time for you. So unfortunately, yeah, that's the only thing literally probably running through CHX's mind right now is that why did I take that step that direction?
I do have words to say, but I will wait till after the match to say them. But that is so disgusting from CHX. Just, I mean, it might not have any hindrance on this match right now since he's so far ahead at the moment, but leafed it. Like, I actually lost a match because I ran into a mine. I lost it to Telio1. That is just not a good feeling. He had everything going his way just to have it run like that. So he got a spreader here. Like, even that, he had a sub 6 potential here. He's still on form like 3 of the Mutoid Man. This spreader is going to close the gap and get him all the way maybe to a final form. But yeah, the damage is already done here. The damage is just so done.
But, I mean, it's still a very, very clean run outside of everything else right here for CHX. This is looking really good. Was able to get some nice spreader damage getting to final form here. And that will pop right there. You're still looking at a nice little 630 for CHX. Will run into Mutoid Man one time because, yeah, why not? And, yeah, nice little finish up there for CHX. 635 on the exit.
635 seems to be the theme for today because three matches, 3 runners have all gotten that same exact time. You were one of them, Jay, and Tetsuo was the other. Yeah, that's crazy, but
yeah, you usually can't be too mad about a 635 in a no reset run. It's essentially what you're doing in these races. Obviously, CHX, yeah, you're kicking yourself for that, but you otherwise played it pretty damn well. So nicely done here. RambleRick getting it done, actually getting some nice form changes here, doing some nice damage. Oh, see, yeah, you gotta take that death, and RambleRick will start to learn that with some experience there. He's gotta take that death. He's gotta go for this invulnerability, all those things. Like this PB will melt for RambleRick, I think, as we continue on in this tournament. Look for him in that round 2 matchup to be able to take advantage of some of these things that aren't quite coming so naturally.
Jay, I have some unfortunate news for that. So I actually purposely left this toward the end because I knew it was just going to be just as sickening to say this news. But the winner of this match is facing Scotty. The loser of this match is facing Firebroth.
Yeah. Yeah, you're getting thrown out of the fire into the frying pan, right? Like, or out of the frying pan into the fire, right? That's
RambleRick had a very tough matchup on this one, but the next one is not going to be any easier, because if you saw the matchup on Sunday between Scotty and Firebroth, both were out for blood. Both were definitely winners. Just unfortunately, someone's got to lose, and that was Firebroth. So he's definitely not going to have an easier time in the losers or the second chance.
Out of the flame into the Firebroth. That is beautiful. Yeah. Thank you, Lucha.
Yeah, that's just, unfortunately, that's just the next road for RambleRick after this loss to CHX here. So he's not going to get a PB, unfortunately, on this one as well. But good effort for him to, finish out the run at least. Just, unfortunately, that's just how the tournament goes. Like, you get a very tough break on the first matchup, just depending on your seed. So he gets CHX. We got, I know Lemon AIDS is the guy's name, but he goes by something else on challenge. He has to deal with Deldor. He has to deal with Brysolf tomorrow, so he has just as much of a problematic matchup as anybody else who's in the very lower tier of this bracket. Like,
yeah, it's been the case for a while. I actually I came in as an alternate sub in the second annual race, and I was immediately lined up against folks like Dark Lord Gonzo, and there wasn't any possibility of getting through that one at that point. But through some work, through some practice, through a tournament experience like this, I think you can see someone like RambleRick really knocking out some nice PBs with some, just kind of learning the manipulation, learning how, some of these guys like a CHX are able to put up these crazy fast times. And there you go. You're seeing our prizes right there. First place, second place, third. Third place, fourth, all the way down to 16th place. Everybody getting some big money, some big prizes.